In today's video, I'm going to talk about a strategy I've been using recently to find small cryptos on DEXs that's been yielding me some very nice returns over the past few weeks. And this strategy is to find what proven smart money wallets are already buying as a starting point for research. A lot of the tokens I'll talk about are up 50%, 100% in the past 10 days. And in full transparency, to show you the results of this strategy, I'll show you all 9 tokens that I flagged a couple weeks ago to see how each of them are doing, because most of them are up, but a few of them are down. Welcome back to Dynamo DeFi. My name is Patrick. As a reminder, nothing I say in this video is financial advice, although we'll talk about a number of tokens. That's to illustrate the results of this strategy, not as a suggestion that you necessarily invest in them yourself, especially because many of them have already gone up. Now, let's get into the video. To start, how are we finding these smart money wallets exactly, and why should you care about smart money? I've been using a service known as ChainEdge. No official affiliation with them, except that I subscribe, and basically ChainEdge tracks the top 0.01% of DEX traders and then shows you net what they're buying over the past day, 7 days, and other time periods. And what's really interesting about this is, first off, even if you're a pretty good DEX trader, I think most people watching this are probably not in the top 0.01%. And so that's right there saying, okay, these people have proven success and probably worth taking note of what they're buying in the future. And even if you are in that top 0.01%, or maybe you're just in the top 1% or top 0.1%, that doesn't mean that you necessarily have all of the expertise or knowledge of all these people. And so perhaps they know something you don't, perhaps they did research in an area you didn't. And so there can still be alpha by looking at what these top DEX traders are buying. The other reason why this can be really helpful is that for someone like me who likes to take a quantitative approach to investing and to trading, it's really tough to do that with certain types of cryptos, especially things like meme coins that really have no inherent value beyond the social utility of them. And that's really tough to measure because social metrics can be so easily faked. But what's tougher to fake is whether these top DEX traders are actually buying with significant sums of money. So this gives you a way to actually add a quantitative element to these otherwise tough to quantify tokens. And so, like I said, this has yielded some pretty good returns, and ChainEdge in transparency is relatively expensive, although it's a great service. If you want something that's maybe a bit more affordable, then I have a premium newsletter for my Substack, Dynamo Research, and there I highlight a lot of interesting on-chain stats, but among those I highlight top smart money flows from ChainEdge. And so these, I just take the biggest inflows of the past 7 days and then curate those to remove things, for example, that launched in the past 24 hours that are going to be excessively risky. And so this was the first newsletter I did with this on October 20th. You can see all the tokens here, of which there were 9 that I highlighted. And so in today's video, I'm going to talk about how each of these 9 tokens have done since I published this newsletter to hopefully illustrate the effectiveness of this strategy. All right, let's look at these now. The top one is a meme coin. If you're not familiar with this meme coin, it's one of the biggest meme coins right now, and it's called Harry Potter Obama Sonic 10 Inu. I guess it's a riff on some meme where was a t-shirt being sold that said that on it. And the ticker is actually Bitcoin, funny enough. Again, meme coin, so it's a joke. But it had $132,000 of smart money inflows when I tracked this on October 20th. And so that's really interesting, right? Because you can't really quantify meme coins normally, but you can say, okay, people who have a proven history of successful DEX trades were buying this. And then if you look at it on the chart, again, this was published on October 20th. So depending on where you were, it was around 0.9, maybe pushing up a little more towards 0.096. And then look how it's done since then. Boom. It has nearly done a 2x since then. It's up probably about 90-something%. So very good for Harry Potter Obama Sonic 10 Inu. The next token that I called out in this original email was Blocks. So let's look at how Blocks did. So this was October 20th. We can see it had already started to pump, so didn't catch it quite early enough, although potentially when these inflows came, if you were tracking this earlier in the week, then you might have caught more of the pump, but we'll go based on the newsletter. So we can see it went from around 0.0288 up to 0.037. So that's actually a very, very nice bump, right? What is that? About 40% maybe, 40% bump after publishing it in the newsletter, and then it's retraced since then. So it's down by about 25% from where we were in the newsletter. However, if you take profits, as long as there's some kind of bump, and you're taking profits religiously as you ought to with most of these very risky coins, not necessarily a huge problem if it dips after. Although, admittedly, this one did not do nearly as well as many of the others. Next up, we have Banana. This is a Telegram bot, Banana Gun. Let's see, on the 20th, it was around $6. A few days later, it pumped all the way up to $9, so 50% increase. And then today, it's sitting at just under a 50% increase at $8.8, so still up. So that one, very, very good success. Let's see, looks like I skipped around a little bit, but Banana did very well. Let's go to Imagine AI now. So this is an AI token. Basically, it's building in open source, uncensored image generation software using crypto as a distribution platform. And if you look at this, it's actually up a lot today because they just had some big news about a partnership with NVIDIA. But if we look on October 20th, smart money was accumulating. It was around 0.02, so around 2 cents. And then as of this moment, it's around 5 cents. So that is more than 100% increase. That is basically a 150% increase in 10 days. Very, very nice returns on Imagine AI. Next, we have Illum. So Illum, let's see. This one I think is the worst performing on the list. There may be another one, but this one I would say is the worst performing on the list. You can't have all hits, but this one's been basically down only since we published it. 0.35 down to 2.8. So that is around a 20% drop if my mental math is holding up. So not very good. Again, though, not all these are going to be 100% hit rates. That's why for any sort of trading strategy, you're dealing with probabilities, right? It's all about probabilities. All right, let's go through the rest. Next, we have SPX. That is a meme coin as well. SPX is, of course, the S&P 500. This is a meme coin that's sort of a spoof on the S&P 500. And if we look on the 20th, it was around 0.0164, pumped all the way up to 0.026. Now it's around 0.024. So up around 50%. We'll take it. ATOR. Let's see how ATOR has done. 20th, it was around $1, right around $1, up around 30% now, and it was up to nearly 50% a couple days ago. And keep in mind, the market has been up, so you'd expect most tokens to be up, but many of these have significantly outperformed the market overall. Next up, we have one known as Kuma Inu. I don't know very much about this. This one I did not buy from the list because it was pretty far down, but Inu generally indicates a meme coin. And if we look here, 20th, we can see that it was around 6.1. There's a number of zeros in front of that. It dipped, and then it pumped up to around 7.1. And it's still, I guess, today's the local high. So that one did very well. That one's up. Let's keep looking. Then we have this one called Imperial, which is on Arbitrum, EMP. And if we go here, we look on the 20th, it was around $24. Now it's around $44. So more than a 50% increase. That is very, very solid, right? In fact, that's more than a 75% increase. That's a very, very nice gain in just a short period of time. And so I would definitely rate this one as a as a success. And so if you look at this, actually, only 2 of these, Blocks and Illum, are down from where they were when they were flagged as smart money. And one of these actually had a pump before it dropped. So that's a really nice hit rate, right? You have 7 out of 9 are still up, and 8 out of 9 were up at one point. So I think this method is pretty solid. I don't think this will necessarily always perform this way because the market has been up, which would juice a lot of these pumps. But overall, this has been yielding returns for me. I'll say, just in transparency, the ones that I had bought from this were the Harry Potter, Obama, Sonic 10 Inu, and Imagine AI, and I published which ones I'm actually buying myself in the in the weekly newsletter as well, just to be fully transparent. And if you're interested in checking out the premium newsletter, dynamodefi.substack.com, and I'll also link it down in the description. And that's all for today. If you want more videos like this, be sure to like and subscribe. And until next time, this is Dynamo DeFi.